Hello, my name is Michelle, and this is a video about straps or handles for bags. And I've been on a mission to find which ones that I love the most. Sorry if I pointed on the microphone there. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the favorites of mine in this video, and I will show you how to do one of them, but I think I've demonstrated some of them, the other ones, in previous videos, but I will talk about them. So if you're interested in finding out different ways of, I guess, doing handles for bags or straps, whatever you're calling them, then stick around because that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first one, which is like my latest discovery, if you will, and the one that I think I like the most so far, but it depends on the bag, what kind of straps or handles that you're going for. So the one that I really like, and I'm gonna show you a video of it. I think I'm gonna move like here, and then I'll show the video here. So I'm just going to demonstrate it a little bit quickly. So I made 15, let's say, chain stitches, and then you turn as you would do a second row and make 14 single crochets. And then when you're making the third, I guess, row in this way, you're supposed to take, I guess, you're almost turning it to the side, and then you're taking the loops or strings or yarn strings that are closest to that middle, and you are slip stitching all the way, basically 14 stitches to the end, and then that will create sort of a almost rounded handle. But if you want to so I'm showing you on a video here, and I will talk a little bit also because I sort of drew this up as well in my notepad to explain how you can attach or use this method on a bag, because you can use it, for example, if you, let's say you have your body of the bag and you want to add this kind of handle, then you would go like, for example, bump, 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 bump with your single crochets, and then you do X amount of, I guess, chain stitches that you want. It doesn't matter how many, but then you have, then you attach it to this like with a slip stitch here, and then you go back and do your single crochets on that chain of stitches that you have made, and then you attach that with a slip stitch on the body of the bag, and then you work, like I said, with those slip stitches all the way around till you get back. So it's like a 1 2 3, and which takes you back to that end that you want to go and continue with the bag, right? So when you get to here, you probably will, I think, end up in the middle, so you will have to maybe do a single crochet, no, sorry, a slip stitch or something, just to get to that other side of that handle to continue with your single crochets. I hope that made sense. I've tried to, I guess, draw a little bit and to explain how that would work. You can also, if you want to, have a thicker, I guess, result, I guess you could do like 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 back again, before you slip stitch again, slip stitch that together. I haven't tried that, but if you do, I would expect you to have a little bit of more of a, maybe a cord, like, like there will be a tunnel almost. So I don't know if that is going to be what you're looking for, but all I'm saying is I'm really happy that I found out that you can at least do the 1 2 3 method, because I think that creates a pretty solid handle and it doesn't stretch too much, which is something that I think you would love to have on a crocheted bag. You don't want that handle to stretch too much. So that is like my favorite, I think, lately way of doing handles. But again, that doesn't work for every bag, right? So here you might see my, I'm gonna see if I can get it down. My bottle bag. I have a full free tutorial on YouTube on how to make this one. And if you want a written pattern, you have to go to my Etsy shop and buy it there, and it will be linked in the description below. But just quickly, and I, like I said, have a whole free tutorial on how to make that, and that will also show you how to make the handle. So this handle again is not super stretchy, and it's pretty, like, I feel solid and looks pretty cool. So this is also one of my really like favorite ways of creating these straps slash handles, and it's basically just like single crochet, slip stitch, single crochet, slip stitch, single crochet, slip stitch, and turn, and just worked like flat and back and forth basically. So it's a very simple, again, method to do that, and I feel like it creates this really like a rustic and pretty cool looking handle. And so that was number 2. And then number 3, if you want to not have super stretchy handle or strap, I would, I'm gonna see if I can find it here. I'm sorry, I'm dragging everything, but sorry. You have this method, which is like, you can tell this is not stretchy at all. So what I have done here is like basically worked single crochets on this like side. So this one, it goes all the way around, as you can imagine. So I've just basically single crochets, and for it not to be super stretchy, I have sorry for speaking a bit fast, but I have like carried a thread the whole time. So when I created this, I also locked basically, or with the single crochet crochets, I had also the single crochets being done or created over on top of the thread, like you would do when you're doing tapestry crocheting, right? You carry a thread, or you sometimes like leave it on the back side, but here it's important that you actually lock it in or seal it, and that helps with obviously make it less stretchy, which is again something you don't really want when you have a crocheted bag. With this method, I guess you could also find any rope and just try to like basically crochet around or over that, and it will help or have the same kind of effect. Now, another way of doing these bags, straps, handles, whatever you want to call it, is also to work and do this kind of solution. So this is my Ravello bag. Also it's not a free pattern. You can buy it on my Etsy shop, but just to show you how I've made these handles, I've created basically, it's like here you can find it, like it's like a loop. You can, I guess, fill this up with a rope, fill it up with a rope. You get what I'm saying. But it's been worked in the rounds, like all the way up till here, and then from the other side, and then I sewed this together. But that also creates a pretty solid like handle or strap that doesn't stretch too much when you fill your bag with whatever you want to fill it with. So again, a very good method to do straps slash handles for a bag. And now my last method, which is very common and also something that is very lovely to do. And like I said, you will have probably a million different ways of doing handles and straps because each bag is different, right? So here is another way, obviously, where you just do single crochets all the way, and then once you want to have your straps, you stop and then you make a chain, and then you keep going and make a chain of stitches, and then you keep going, and then you keep going with your single crochets on top of those chains, and then keep going, and as depending on how thick you want them. But these handles are obviously a little bit more stretchy, not much though if you have a pretty firm tension when you're crocheting, but again, stretches a bit more than the other methods that I showed you so far. So those are basically my sort of go-to now handle slash strips. What was it called? Straps? Anyway, I'm gonna say handles, and those are my favorite and go-to ways of making handles to the different bags that I am creating. But I'm always in the look for different solutions that fits the different bags, like this might, as you can see, this bottle bag might not have been great to do this kind of solution, because with the bottle bag you want to make sure that it doesn't stretch too much when it's going to carry a bottle with heavy water in it. So yeah, that is all I had to share with you today. I hope it was helpful and fun to just follow me basically speaking very fast through all of my different ways of doing or creating handles for bags, but I just wanted you to have it quick and easy. So if you have any tips slash ideas on how to create good handles slash straps for specifically crocheted bags, then let me know in the comments below. Or if you've tried any of these, or if any of these were new to you, please let me know. Another way, obviously, is if you want to make, for example, a lining to your bag and you're also making the lining on your strap, which will that fabric will also help it not to stretch. But I guess you want to sort of get around that, or not having to do that extra step, and that's why it's like good to find these solutions with the crocheting alone, right? So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment.